Hey, would you all stop doing this?
Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less.
You know, if I'm sitting, I'm serious, right? We're gonna have some fun, but I'm serious. It's a serious message with a smile, with a funny tone, right? I wanna be real with you, right? When I had a property in Kentucky, right? There was this Amish guy who sold shoes. Okay, he actually was starting a shoe store. I was talking to him, and he was telling me about. He didn't really, plan to get started selling shoes, but he was selling shoes to friends, whatever, and it just grew and it grew and it grew. And next thing you know, he was opening a store, right? Which is really cool. Okay. What does that have to do with insurance? I'm going to tell you. There are way too many agents out there that are growing a book of business. Okay. I'm guilty of it myself from time to time. I focus on, growing that book of business more than I'm focused on growing the actual business, right? You don't just own a book of business, you own a business, okay? And it's time that we start treating it like that. I'm talking to myself with this stuff. I've made the mistakes for far too long. I've made the same mistakes that I'm calling out, and that's how I know some of y'all are making them. And what I mean by this is that Amish guy, who is an awesome dude, would have been very unusual if his business grew and grew and grew in the form of clients, right? More people are buying shoes from him. More people are buying more shoes. They're referring people. And instead of ever buying a storefront, he just keeps hoarding them in his trunk of his car, right? Or he gets a big old wagon and he's like, yep, I got some shoes for sale. Right? He never builds his business. Okay, so I'm talking about the actual storefront. And I'm not saying if you're an insurance agent, as you're growing, you need to go get a storefront and then you need to have walk-in traffic and all of this stuff. But what I am saying is if you started your insurance agency, okay, out of your mother's basement, I am very proud of you. Good. I hope you're not still in your mother's basement, but if you are still a solopreneur calling out of your mother's basement, maybe it's time that we start to invest some of that money that you've made into resources rather than just leads. Okay, leads are great. We buy leads, we buy ad space, all of that stuff to generate revenue is huge. But you've got to start to build your actual business, right? You've got to start to think outside of just yourself. Maybe you need a virtual assistant, right? Maybe you're happy, okay, with the life that you have because it's just you got a few hundred clients, you're making some money, awesome. But is it fair, ask yourself, right? Is it fair for you to continue to grow in the form of clients and not have the resources, the tools to actually serve those clients, right? And so I'm thinking about this from a consumer standpoint as well. If you're a consumer out there and you are, you purchase your insurance from Joe Smith down the road, okay? He's calls out of his house and it's Joe Smith Insurance and just him. And that gentleman's business is growing and growing and growing for whatever reason, right? And he never invests back in resources that helps to take care of his client, whether automations or assistants to look over policies or an assistant to submit the applications and make sure that everything is documented properly and stored safely and all of these things that are necessary to grow a business, right? If he's overlooking that and just focused on the next client, the next client, the next client, and not servicing that book of business, that's going to be an issue. Right? And so from the agent standpoint, same thing. You've got to focus as much, maybe not as much, but you've got to focus on working on the business as well as in the business, right? Growing your actual business as much as you're growing your book of business. The others will come, the book of business will come. They both complement each other very well, but I see far too many agents out there that are trying to be solopreneurs, which again, nothing wrong with being a solopreneur. I can see the upside, trust me. I can see how just being you, yourself, and I running your own business can be very, very freeing, right? But invest in resources then, right? Invest in automations, invest in technology, invest in a virtual assistant, invest in somebody that can help you manage as you grow and scale. Otherwise, it's not fair to your client. You're doing your business a disservice. And, I hate to see so many agents focus solely on making more and more sales and not building an actual business.
I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler. One thing you should know about me. I'm a health insurance hustler. BradHannon.com.